get this. We're diving deep today into academic publishing.
Oh, yeah.
But with a twist. We're talking AI,
Okay.
but not just like using AI as a writing assistant or something, but
yeah.
like full-on fake research papers
Wow.
generated completely by AI.
Yeah, so that's...
Creepy, right?
it is a growing concern, for sure.
Yeah, just imagine like all this scientific knowledge.
Uh-huh.
And it's like built on this foundation of like
Okay.
fabricated research.
Totally. And what's really alarming is the rise of these
Yeah.
paper mills.
Oh, yeah.
They're essentially businesses that are just churning out
Wow.
bogus research for profit.
That's
Because
okay.
so they're using
Yeah.
AI tools like ChatGPT
Oh, wow.
to create these papers,
Yeah.
and then they sell them to academics.
So it's like a shortcut,
Yeah.
but with like
Huge consequences.
consequences.
Especially in fields like medicine or computer science,
totally.
with the accuracy of research is
It's
paramount.
Yeah, I was reading about this group called Retraction Watch.
Okay.
They're like academic fraud detectives,
Oh, wow.
and some of their findings are crazy.
I bet.
There's this case involving this term
Okay.
that popped up in multiple papers, even in like prestigious journals.
All right.
Something called vegetative electron microscopy.
Ah, yes. The vegetative electron microscopy incident.
It sounds made up.
It's become a cautionary tale
Oh, really?
in the world of AI and academic publishing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is,
Yeah.
this term doesn't actually exist.
What?
It seems to be a product of AI misinterpreting a 1959 paper.
Wait, so an AI just like made up a scientific term
Uh-huh.
and it ended up in published research?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
Well, researchers believe the AI responsible was
Yeah.
likely an early language model,
Okay.
perhaps one that wasn't specifically trained on scientific literature.
Right.
It seems to have misread the two-column format,
Oh,
common in older academic papers,
interesting.
essentially combining words from separate columns
Yeah.
to create this nonsensical term.
So it's like a game of academic telephone,
Right.
but with an AI whispering gibberish
Yeah,
in the researcher's ear.
exactly.
It's kind of funny,
It is sort of funny.
but also not funny
Right.
because it's like
Yeah, it highlights a serious flaw
a serious law.
in how we're integrating AI into research.
Ability.
And what makes the vegetative electron microscopy case
Yeah.
even more striking is that one of the papers containing this error
Right.
was co-authored by an editor at Elsevier,
What?
a major academic publisher.
No way.
It demonstrates how easily these AI-generated errors
Yeah.
can slip through the cracks,
Wow.
even at the highest levels of scrutiny.
That's unnerving. If editors at top journals are missing these red flags,
Right?
it makes you wonder like how much fake research is already out there.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
influencing our understanding of the world. It's like
Right.
we're trying to build a house
Mhm.
on a foundation of sand.
And researchers are developing tools
Okay.
to try and combat this issue.
That's a good.
One approach
Yeah.
involves looking for what they call tortured phrases
Tortured phrases.
within the text.
What are those?
So think of it this way. Imagine an AI trying too hard to sound human,
Right.
but ending up with clunky or unnatural phrasing.
Okay.
Instead of using a simple word like insects,
Uh-huh.
it might opt for something like creepy crawlies,
Oh.
which, while technically correct, just feels off
Yeah.
in a scientific context.
Right.
These unusual or awkward word choices
Uh-huh.
can be a red flag
Okay.
that AI was involved in the writing process.
So it's like a linguistic fingerprint,
Yeah,
a way to spot the AI's hand in the writing.
right.
It's fascinating how researchers are using these subtle clues.
It is interesting.
Yeah, to differentiate real research
Uh-huh.
from AI-generated fake.
It's a bit like a detective story,
Totally.
piecing together evidence from the language itself.
Oh, yeah.
But the challenge is that as detection methods improve,
Yeah.
the creators of these fake papers are also refining their techniques.
Right. So they're getting better, too.
Making the fakes even harder to spot.
It sounds like an arms race.
It is.
Both sides constantly trying to outsmart each other.
Right.
I'm curious, like, what are the real-world consequences of this AI fakery?
Well,
Beyond the obvious hit to academic integrity? Like,
Okay.
how is this impacting actual research and scientific progress?
well, the consequences are multifaceted
Okay.
and in some cases quite profound.
Oh, wow.
Imagine a cancer researcher
Uh-huh.
relying on a study
Yeah.
built on fabricated data
Oh, no.
it could lead them down the wrong path, potentially delaying breakthroughs or even harming patients.
That's a scary thought.
It is a sobering thought.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect.
Where one piece of fake research can like topple a whole chain of scientific understanding and progress.
Exactly. And beyond the direct impact on research, there's the issue of eroding public trust in science.
Oh, that's huge.
If people start to believe that research findings can't be trusted, it undermines the very foundation of evidence-based decision-making.
Totally.
Not just in academia, but in healthcare policymaking and countless other aspects of society.
It's like a crack in the foundation of our shared understanding of the world.
Right.
That's a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
So what are some potential solutions?
Well,
how can we ensure the integrity of scientific knowledge?
Okay, so one promising avenue involves utilizing AI itself to fight fire with fire.
Interesting.
Researchers are developing sophisticated algorithms that can analyze text for those tortured phrases and other subtle signs of AI generation. These AI detectors are becoming incredibly adept. Oh, wow.
At spotting patterns and anomalies that human reviewers might miss.
So it's like training an AI watchdog to sniff out the imposter.
Exactly.
That's cool. I'm all for using technology to solve problems, but doesn't that create a paradox?
It does raise interesting philosophical questions.
Yeah, like relying on AI to catch AI.
About the nature of truth and authenticity.
Feels like entering a hall of mirrors.
In the age of AI, but from a practical standpoint, AI detection tools are proving to be a valuable asset in this ongoing battle.
It's a fascinating,
it is,
albeit slightly unnerving, example of how AI is changing the very fabric of knowledge creation and dissemination.
Totally.
And I'm guessing this is just the tip of the iceberg.
You're absolutely right. As AI continues to evolve, we can expect even more sophisticated forms of fakery.
Wow.
And we'll need to be even more vigilant in our efforts to safeguard the integrity of research.
Well, this has been an eye-opening exploration into the world of AI fakery in academic publishing. It's clear that this is a complex issue.
It is.
With far-reaching consequences. But before we get too deep to potential solutions, I think it's important to understand the motivations at play here.
I agree. It's not enough to simply identify the problem. We need to understand the forces that are driving it.
Totally.
So let's dig into those motivations.
Okay.
Like, why would someone, especially an academic, risk their reputation and career by purchasing a fake research paper?
It's a question I've been thinking about too. It's like, they must know they're playing with fire. Is it just laziness?
It's rarely that simple.
Okay.
In many cases, it boils down to the immense pressure academics face to publish.
Publish or perish.
We've all heard the phrase, but it's more than just a catchy saying. In academia, your career trajectory, your funding opportunities, even your prestige within your field are often directly tied to your publication record.
So it's like a high-stakes game. The number of publications is like...
It's the ultimate scorecard.
The ultimate scorecard. Yeah, I can see how that kind of pressure can lead people to make bad choices.
Exactly. And for early career researcher or those in highly competitive fields, that pressure can feel overwhelming.
I bet.
They may feel like they're falling behind and see these paper mills as a way to catch up or gain an edge.
It's almost tragic.
It is.
They're being pushed to compromise their integrity because the system prioritizes quantity over quality.
It certainly highlights some of the systemic issues within academia. But it's not just about pressure. There are also cases where individuals might be driven by ego or ambition.
Oh, wow.
They might crave recognition or accolades without putting in the actual work. Seeing these fake papers as a shortcut to fame.
So it's like a counterfeit version of success.
Exactly.
A hollow victory that undermines the value of genuine research.
And then there's a darker side to consider as well. In some cases, these fake papers might be used for more nefarious purposes.
Like what?
Like pushing a particular agenda.
Oh, wow.
Or even trying to discredit a rival's work.
That's unsettling.
It is.
It makes you wonder if these fake papers could be weaponized to spread misinformation, or manipulate public opinion?
It's a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
And it underscores the need for robust detection methods.
Okay.
And for a broader discussion about the ethical implications of AI in research.
Okay, so we've talked about the motivations of those buying fake papers.
Right.
But what about the publishers?
Okay.
What steps can journals take to prevent these papers from slipping through the cracks?
It's a multifaceted challenge that requires a multi-pronged approach.
Okay.
First and foremost, journals need to be more transparent about their peer review processes.
Okay.
Reviewers need to be adequately trained to spot potential red flags.
Like those tortured phrases we talked about.
Including those tortured phrases we discussed earlier.
But with the volume of submissions these days, is human review even feasible anymore?
It's certainly a daunting task.
Yeah.
And that's where AI can play a role.
Okay.
Not just in generating fakes.
Right.
But also in detecting them.
Interesting.
We touched on AI detection tools earlier, but it's worth emphasizing their potential to help streamline the review process.
So how would that work?
Imagine a system that can quickly scan through thousands of submissions.
Wow.
Flagging those with suspicious characteristics for closer human scrutiny.
That would free up human reviewers.
Exactly.
To focus on the more nuanced cases. Where the line between genuine and fake might be blurred.
It's about leveraging AI to augment human capabilities.
Right.
Not replace them entirely.
Okay.
And beyond AI, journals can also implement stricter guidelines for authorship and data transparency.
Okay.
Requiring authors to disclose any AI assistance used in the writing process, for instance, could help deter the use of paper mills.
So it's about creating a system of checks and balances.
Exactly.
A layered approach to ensure that only legitimate research makes it through the publication pipeline.
And when a fake paper is detected,
Yeah.
journals need to be willing to take decisive action.
Like what?
Including retracting the paper.
Wow.
Even if it means damage to their reputation.
That takes courage.
It does.
It's not easy to admit you've made a mistake.
It's crucial for maintaining the integrity of the scientific record.
Yeah. If journals aren't willing to hold themselves accountable, it erodes public trust in the entire system.
It all comes down to trust.
Yeah.
Trust in the research, trust in the journals.
Right.
And ultimately, trust in the scientific process itself.
And if we lose that trust, it has ripple effects far beyond academia.
It impacts our ability to make informed decisions about healthcare, about the environment, about the very future of our society.
So it's not just about academics catching up on the latest developments in their field.
Yeah.
It's about all of us as citizens understanding the stakes and becoming more discerning consumers of information.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
In an age where information, both real and fabricated, is constantly bombarding us.
Yeah.
Critical thinking skills are more important than ever.
And speaking of critical thinking, this whole conversation has got me thinking about the bigger picture. We've been focusing on AI's role in generating these fake papers.
Yeah.
But what about the human element?
Okay.
On the other side of the equation?
Right.
What can researchers themselves do to prevent this kind of fakery from happening in the first place?
Yeah, it feels like we've been looking at this problem from the outside.
Right.
What about the researchers themselves?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like, what role do they play in all of this?
So while the pressures to publish are real, and those shortcuts can be tempting, researchers have a fundamental responsibility to uphold the integrity of their work.
I guess it comes down to ethics, right?
Absolutely.
Knowing where the line is and not crossing it.
Right. Even when the stakes are high.
Exactly.
It starts with the commitment to rigorous research practices, honesty in reporting findings, and transparency in acknowledging limitations or potential conflicts of interest.
It sounds like it takes courage.
It does. To stand up for what's right.
Yes.
Even when it might be easier to just go along with the crowd.
It requires a shift in mindset.
Okay.
Away from the idea that publishing is the only measure of success.
Oh, interesting.
Mentoring students, sharing knowledge, collaborating with others.
Right.
These are all valuable contributions to the scientific community.
So it's about seeing the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Science is a collaborative endeavor, not just a race to publish.
And it's about fostering a culture of mentorship and support.
Okay.
Within research institutions.
Right.
Senior researchers have a responsibility to guide and encourage younger colleagues to model ethical behavior and create an environment where integrity is valued.
So it's a shared responsibility.
It is.
From individual researchers to institutions to journals to make sure that the pursuit of knowledge remains grounded in honesty and rigor.
Precisely. And it's something that requires constant vigilance.
Yeah, especially as technology continues to evolve
Absolutely.
And blur the lines between what's real and what's fabricated.
This has been a fascinating,
it has,
and at times a bit unsettling, deep dive into the world of AI and academic publishing.
We're navigating uncharted territory here.
We are.
And the stakes are incredibly high.
It's a reminder that technology, for all its potential benefits, can also be used in ways that undermine the very foundations of knowledge and trust.
But it's also a call to action.
I agree.
For all of us, researchers, publishers, citizens, to be more aware, more critical, and more committed to safeguarding the integrity of scientific research.
I couldn't agree more. The future of science.
Yeah.
And perhaps even the future of our society.
Wow.
Depends on it.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
The complexities of AI fakery in academic publishing, the motivations behind it, the potential consequences, and the steps we can take to combat it.
It's been a thought-provoking conversation.
It has.
And I hope our listeners have come away with a better understanding.
And me too.
Of the challenges and opportunities we face.
For sure.
As we enter this new era of AI-driven research.
And if there's one thing I hope our listeners take away from this episode, it's the importance of critical thinking.
Absolutely.
In a world where information, both real and fabricated, is constantly bombarding us, the ability to question, to analyze, to discern truth from falsehood is more vital than ever.
Critical thinking is the foundation.
It is.
Of informed decision-making.
Yeah.
Not just in academia, but in every aspect of our lives.
So until next time, keep those minds sharp.
Okay.
Keep those questions coming and keep diving deep.